Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm that Young Bull, bringing you some more unleaked Black Ops 2 information. That's right, you can't find this anywhere else online, so make sure to subscribe so that way you can stay up to date with the latest and greatest in Black Ops 2 unleaked information. In the last video, we went over quickscoping and what exactly Treyarch's doing with that whole system. They're going to be revamping it pretty nice, so if you haven't seen that, make sure to check it out. There's going to be an annotation on the screen right now. I also want to give out a big shout out to my man Pre-Game Jitters, giving me this sick gameplay. He goes 76-5 with an assault moab in domination. I mean, the dude's an absolute beast, and this is not his only good gameplay, so make sure to check him out. There's going to be an annotation on the screen and a link in the description. But with that said, let's hop into today's topic, which is going to be death streaks. Now, something I assume almost all of you know is that Activision is the head of the Call of Duty series, and then beneath them are the two, production companies, which would be Infinity Ward and Treyarch. Well, notoriously and historically, Infinity Ward always just gives into exactly what it is Activision wants. And Activision wants a noob-friendly game. That way they can sell the game to noobs and make more money. Things like, second chance, dead man's hand, support kill streaks, all that kind of stuff. That's stuff Activision wants because it caters to the less experienced players. But Treyarch really wants, their games to be good for the gamers. And, obviously they do have to appease Activision. They can't have everything they want, but they try to argue for their side, and, they do a good job with it, to be completely honest. But one of those things that Treyarch is fighting against and Activision is seriously pushing for is death streaks in Black Ops 2. Now, Treyarch can't just simply say that there's not going to be any death streaks, because it ultimately comes down to Activision's decision, and Treyarch just has to follow through. But what they're trying to do is argue for what kind of death streaks. What they really want to push for is non-lethal death streaks, so that way things like second chance hopefully wouldn't be in the game, and things definitely like dead man's hand and stuff wouldn't exist. Well, unfortunately, Activision really wants second chance in the game, as well as a few other lethal death streaks, so that way the noobs will be happy. So I have a few proposals of ideas that they could possibly implement, and I want you guys to tell me what you think of my ideas, and also share your ideas, because at this point Treyarch and Activision are really looking at the community. They want to cater this to the gamers as well, so everybody's input should be able to count. And so if you have an idea, don't feel afraid to share what it is, because chances are it could possibly be implemented. There's no harm in trying. But anyways, with that said, I definitely think the whole line of non-lethal death streaks would be good. I mean, I understand the frustration of noobs if they're not good at the game and they're dying a lot. A little boost could be nice. But I think you need to be careful with what exactly it is you're giving them. So with that said, I have a list of 10 different death streaks that I think, at least in terms of my view, would be okay. One would essentially be revenge from Modern Warfare 3. Now, I think it is unfair that it only shows the person that killed you, and that I'm pretty sure it shows them for their entire life. I don't know, to be honest. I don't use revenge because I don't worry about my death streaks. But I think if they keep that, it should last for either 5 to 15 seconds, and it pans like a UAV. And I'm still debating whether or not I think it'd be fair for it to just show the person who last killed them, or to show the whole enemy team. I feel like if it's the whole enemy team, maybe it should just be for 5 seconds and do like one quick pan, just so that way they can get a general idea of where everyone is, or maybe like 10 seconds for the one person who killed them. So that's what I think about that. For hollow points, I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea. 140% damage. I mean, that can kill someone a whole shot sooner, so you got to be careful with what it is you're doing. So I think if they're going to give someone the ability to kill someone with one less bullet, then they should punish them. And by that I mean, slow their run speed down by like 5, 10, 15% or something. I mean, obviously they speed it up with juice, so why not slow it down for hollow points? Because if they can run full speed and they can deliver more damage than everyone else, it's really not fair. And if someone's having a great game and they get killed by someone simply because they can't beat them because they do more damage and just had good aim, that's really not fair. So they should have some sort of disadvantage if it's going to be that lethal of a death streak. I also think something like a temporary ghost would be good. Say when somebody very first spawns in, they don't show up on the minimap for maybe 5, 10, 15 seconds. That would reduce spawn trapping a lot. I mean, in Black Ops 2, having the Blackbird up in something like Demolition or Domination was just a recipe for disaster, because you know exactly where people were, and then when you kill them, you know exactly where it was they spawned. So something like, a ghost type death streaks, that way they don't show up on like a blackbird or spy plane for just like 5, 10, 15 seconds, I think would be, you know, definitely reasonable, and it would help the noobs escape, you know, the line of fire, so that way they don't just keep getting repeatedly killed. I do think that Juiced is a great idea. I don't see anything wrong with that. You know, that's a really good death streak. Same thing with Copycat from Modern Warfare 2. That's one of my favorite death streaks of all time, just because it's interesting. You can see what classes other people are using, and I don't know, personally I just find that interesting. it's definitely balanced. I mean, I don't know who can complain about something like that. And in terms of Second Chance, which is something that Activision really wants, you know, I'm not totally opposed against Second Chance, but I don't think it should be as powerful as it is. It should definitely be pistols only. And by pistols only, I don't mean you just can't use a primary. I mean you can't knife either, because a lot of people are starting to play on tactical now, and you know, even at that, people are just running around close range shooting. It's so annoying when you drop someone into Second Chance and then you get panic knifed and die. I mean, knifing and panic knifing's bad enough already, but when, you know, I drop shot somebody because I play on tactical and then they go into Second Chance and then panic knife me, that's so annoying. If you keep it as pistols only, you know, not only can they not just instantly kill you if it's close range when you drop them, but their aim also has to be good and they have to earn that kill. I also think that kills from Second Chance should not count towards kill streaks, and I also think that whoever drops the person in Second Chance should get the kill, not whoever finishes them off, as we have seen in Modern Warfare 3. I think that Black Ops 1 did it perfect like that. I also don't think that they should be revived, because you know, talk about an overpowered death streak, unless it's like for a 10 death streak or something like that, or 15, I don't think anybody should be able to get a second life. You know, unless maybe going down in Second Chance counts as a death, and then maybe being revived, you know, they get to just stand up where they were, but their kill streak and you know, their kill streak's reset and it already counted as one death. Then I'd be fine with it, but it's definitely not fair if it doesn't count as a death and they get to be revived and continue on their life and kill streaks. So that's my stance on Second Chance. Something like Painkiller. Okay, this one has a lot of controversy. I think Painkiller isn't bad. I think maybe you know, 120, 130, 140% health would be okay. Something that allows them to just take one extra bullet's worth of damage and not have the health regen. I mean, you know, if they can take 140 damage and say they, you know, take 3 bullets, and it brings them down to maybe, you know, 20% health, and they can only take one more shot, but then they hide for cover. You know, don't let it regen. You know what I'm saying? Have it on a timer of like 5 to 15 seconds where they have Painkiller, and they could only take that extra bullet's damage once. You know what I'm saying? I think something like that would be okay. It kind of goes into the same lines of Hollow Points, where I don't necessarily think it's fair, but, you know, I could live with it, I guess, as long as, you know, it doesn't regen. It's only for like 1 extra bullet's worth of health, and, you know, possibly even just like with Hollow Points, maybe it can slow them down as well, like, you know, 5, 10, 15%. That way, you know, they're not some super soldier running around just winning gunfights. And I know it's just 1 bullet's difference, but you know what? That's the difference between ruining somebody's phenomenal game and, you know, not. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's necessarily fair if someone's having a great game to get killed by some guy just because he can, you know, take 1 extra bullet. So they also have to have some sort of, you know, something to bring it down a little bit so it's not quite as attractive. Something like Ninja for the first 5 to 15 seconds, or even maybe to the very first kill would be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you keep dying or whatever, and people are starting to use headsets more and more, or, you know, they have like an HD, surround sound, whatever it is. Having something like Ninja for, you know, a set time limit, or maybe until after they get their first kill would be nice, because then, you know, they can sort of slip around and not be heard, and obviously, you know, that has its advantages. I also think that something like maybe a flak jacket for like 5 to 15 seconds would be good, where they're not immune to explosive damage, but it's reduced, you know what I'm saying? I think that'd be okay as well. And, you know, finally, I think something like, you know, Ghost Pro from Black Ops 2, when you look at an enemy, you know, their name, if they have Ghost Pro, doesn't show up as red, you know what I'm saying? And the crosshairs don't turn red. I think something like that for maybe 5 to 15 seconds would also be good. You could combine that with the temporary ghost feature, death streak that I was talking about earlier. You could combine those together and basically just have a ghost death streak, but I feel like that'd be a little overpowered. I feel like it needs to be separated. But yeah, those are my ideas for death streaks. That's 10, and you know, personally, I think that they're all definitely doable, and You know, some of them are definitely more my preference than others, but I'm giving ones that are realistic that the developers really might consider. So with that said, guys, let me know what you think about my ideas for death streaks, and please share your ideas, because you never know who's going to look at this. They're looking for feedback on Twitter, on YouTube, and they might just come across your comment or this video, and they might implement some of these ideas. So with that said, definitely comments are encouraged. Anyways, I want to thank you guys very much for watching this. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a like and a favorite. I would also encourage you guys, if you wouldn't mind, to please share this video on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, on forums, whatever, so it can reach a larger audience. So we can get more opinions, and so more people can see this information. It would be great to really have a collaborative effort on this whole issue of death streaks and Black Ops 2. Anyways, thank you very much, guys. Have a great day. It's been your boy DeathStreakS. Peace.